The college basketball experience. Dan Hurley to the Los Angeles Lakers rumors on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. You can win up to 325 times your entry with their new Pick 8. Sign up today using the promo code SGPN and claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $250 bonus in cash. Underdog Fantasy promo code TCESGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get the best data-driven sports and picks from Rhythm. Claim your 7 free day trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. Yes. Woo-wee. Welcome to the college basketball experience, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Thursday night, June the 6th. Yes, I have been out. I was out in Mexico, a little vacation, but I am back. I am actually a married man now. So maybe you'll get a little more disciplined version of me. Probably not. But if you are wondering who you're listening to, I am Moneyline Mac, aka the former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin, also known as another edition of Mac Tonight over at the College Basketball Experience. And man, does it feel good to be back. When I left you guys, a couple weeks ago, I thought the coaching carousel was done. Well, the only scenario that I guess where it could not be, last year with my former boss, Bob Huggins, where the incident happened, the DUI, the radio incident. But this is the other scenario that could always happen where a guy goes to the NBA or just goes for another opportunity. So here we are. Dan Hurley has not gone to the Los Angeles Lakers, so the carousel is not reopened yet. But we need to talk about the rumors. This is a bombshell story, kind of like John Calipari to Arkansas. But yeah, I mean, if you have been living under a rock, Woj bomb got dropped today, early this morning. I think about 7 a.m. Eastern. Dan Hurley is going to be talking to the Los Angeles Lakers over this weekend. Rumors that his wife got flown out to L.A. This is on the heels of him turning down the Kentucky job the first time around in this carousel. Hurley, they're coming off back-to-back national championships, 37-3. They were by far the best team in the country last year. In his time at UConn, 141 and 58. They've been dominant. They are the standard in college basketball, 71 and 41 in the Big East. And of course, they've won back-to-back national championships, striving to go for number 3 next year, a three-peat that has not been done, I think, since the 40s or 50s. I'd have to go back and look. But, I mean, what they did has been historic the last 2 years. But now we may not even be able to see if he can go for the three-peat. These are still rumors. I remember once upon a time where Coach K was rumored to be going to the Los Angeles Lakers when Phil Jackson retired because Kobe and Coach K had a relationship from their days with Team USA. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely something we want to talk about, what it could mean, where UConn would look next if Hurley does make the jump. I'll give you my prediction on what I think. I'll also give you the pros and cons of why I think he should go or why I think he should stay. I think probably those that watch the show on a daily basis know which way I'm going to lean. But first, I got to get us paid because we are brought to you by, the Hockey Gambling Podcast. It's the Stanley Cup. And if you're running out, get over there to the Stanley Cup contest with $100 cash and a $100 gift card. Go over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Stanley Cup to enter today. All righty, we are back on the college basketball experience. Shout out to the chat. Zo double Zoe boy 85. Appreciate you rocking out. Beanick in the chat. Go check out the college baseball. We're down in the super regionals, breaking it all down. Let's break down why he would go. I'll give you from his perspective why he would go to the NBA. Why he would go, I kind of talked about it. Coming off back-to-back national championships. College basketball is a different era. The transfer portal, NIL, a lot of pressure. You're basically running a free agency, fantasy basketball type roster year in and year out. He's lost guys to the draft in multiple years, multiple guys, multiple impact guys. Sonogo, Andre Jackson from a couple years ago. Now Donovan Clingan, Cam Spencer, Tristan Newton. He does have Alex Caravan coming back. That would be the reason why. It's like, what else do I have to prove? I won back-to-back national championships. And I, as much as we don't really like the NBA on this show, it is the LA Lakers. It's not like it's the fucking Wizards. It's not the Washington Wizards, not the I'm trying to think of who's another shit team. Detroit Pistons, Noah Beanick. This is a historic franchise in the NBA. You can make the argument whether having LeBron James is a pro or con, because what is LeBron going through? About 10 coaches in his career. It's one of the biggest knocks on LeBron James, as well as Kevin Durant. I mean, I could make you the argument that LeBron James is a coach killer with how many coaches he has gone through in his time in the NBA. So I honestly, if I'm Dan Hurley, I'd prefer if LeBron was not there. I'd prefer to start fresh, get a long-term deal, run my franchise the way I want to do it. But most likely LeBron will be back in LA, so that's a dynamic. And he's most likely going to have 1 or 2 years. I don't know his contract. Go check out the NBA gambling podcast. But that would be the reasons why he would go to the NBA. Is he really he doesn't have much more to prove in college basketball. Why he should stay in college basketball is the case I'm going to make to Dan Hurley, UConn fan, and UConn fans are going to agree with me. He has a chance right now. Like I said, he's won 41 and 58 at UConn. He's won back-to-back national championships. He won the Big East. He's in an elite company of going back-to-back with Billy Donovan, Coach K in the 90s, where he's got a chance. He's already going to be a Hall of Famer. When you get 2 national championships, you're in the Hall of Fame, automatic. He's got a chance to separate himself into a completely different tier of its own. Coaches that have won 3 national championships: Coach K, Jim Calhoun, UConn, Roy Williams. Bill Self's only got 2. Rick Pitino's only got 2. I mean, he has a chance to elevate himself into a completely different class here. And he's got the thing absolutely rolling at UConn. I don't think they're going to win it next year. I've already been on record. Go check out our top 25. But he's got a chance to really cement himself as maybe the greatest UConn basketball coach, which is hard to believe because of how great Jim Calhoun was. But more so, he's got a chance to be one of the greatest coaches in college basketball history, because he also was really fucking good at Rhode Island. 113 and 82 in his 6 years there, rebuilt that thing, got it to the NCAA tournament. Then it comes to UConn. They rebuild that thing. Now they're a national championship powerhouse. So, I mean, it's kind of give or take. And sometimes don't mess with happiness, man. And the grass is not always greener. I know LA, the Lakers is them and the Celtics. 1-2, take your pick. The other question I would ask Dan Hurley or anybody that says he should go, who recently really has made the jump and improved their legacy? John Calipari, he did in the 90s. No, he was a flop in the NBA. Fred Hoiberg, remember when the mayor was at Iowa State? He was the man in Ames. He was the man that gone to Sweet 16s. He goes to the Bulls. He's just another guy. He comes back to Nebraska, gets it back to the tournament. It took him a while to get it back going. Lon Kruger, multiple stops. He was okay in the NBA, but I mean, he just was another guy in the NBA. The biggest guy I would look at real quick, Tim Floyd, another name that kind of was okay in the NBA. Jerry Tarkanian. and I'm glad that Cash Action Bet said Brad Stevens. Did Brad Stevens really elevate his legacy going to the Celtics? I mean, they went to a Eastern Conference, a couple Eastern Conference finals, but he basically petered out in 3, 4, 5 years after that, where they got swept by the New Jersey Nets or Brooklyn Nets, whatever their name is now. I don't and Billy Donovan. Billy Donovan won 2 national championships. Did he really take his legacy to another level, just being another guy in the NBA? I think Stevens and Billy Donovan are 2 solid examples of solid coaches in the NBA that were okay. But like we're talking about going to a different level, like a Coach K level, a Roy Williams level, Jim Calhoun level, one of the greatest coaches of all time in college basketball. That's the give or take. It's what you want your legacy to be remembered as. The guy, honestly, this is the guy that I think he should really take a look at. Rick Pitino. We talk about Pitino all the time over at St. John's. Rick Pitino won the national championship in 1996 at Kentucky. If Rick Pitino does not leave Kentucky, we're probably not saying Coach K is the greatest coach of all time. Rick Pitino probably has 5, 6, 7, maybe even more national championships because he had the absolute thing fucking rolling at Kentucky. And he just was on record, part of my take this last year, that the biggest mistake he ever made was leaving Kentucky for the Boston Celtics. Very similar. Had it at the absolute peak. Had Kentucky at the peak. National championship, lost in the national championship to Arizona in overtime, then goes to the NBA with the Celtics. He was okay with the Celtics. He went to the playoffs, kind of like Billy Donovan, but he was just another guy. He wasn't Rick Pitino like he is now at the college level. And in my opinion, that's what Dan Hurley would be. Now, maybe Dan Hurley would prove me wrong, where he would go to the NBA, he'd win an NBA championship, take his legacy to another level where he won it at college and he won it at the NBA. Kind of like Larry Brown. Larry Brown would probably be the one guy that I would think when he won at Kansas, then he goes to the NBA, he wins with the Pistons. But other than that, and it goes both ways. I love shitting on the NBA hires. It goes both ways. The college guys have not been good going to the NBA for the most part. They kind of just been other guys and just kind of blending because it's really a players' league. And in my opinion, with how Dan Hurley fits, with how Dan Hurley's personality is, and what he represents, he's a college guy. And I know it's different with the NIL and portal era. But that's my 2 cents on it. I think Rick Pitino is the guy to look at. Pitino came. When did Pitino's legacy take to a different level? It wasn't with the Celtics. It was when he came back to college, went to Louisville, and then won another national championship. So he won a national championship with Kentucky, won it with Louisville. Then he had the dust up at the end. Now he's back with St. John's. But I mean, the biggest mistake he ever made was leaving Kentucky for the Celtics. He didn't have to do that. He may have 5, 6, 7 national championships, and they're challenging Coach K and his legacy. And we're talking about who's the greatest of all time, Rick Pitino or Coach K. We may talk about this 15, 20 years from now with Dan Hurley. If they win 3, 4 more national championships, we can make the argument that Dan Hurley is the greatest college basketball coach of all time, because he did it in an era where he has a different roster coming in year out. Coach K's era was easy. He just got the best players. He developed them. He had a system. He had upperclassmen. What Dan Hurley's been able to do these last couple of years has been way more impressive than the back-to-back with the Dukies in the 90s or Florida with Joakim Noah, Al Horford, and that group. What UConn's been able to do these last 2 years has been the most impressive 2-year run in college basketball history, arguably. So I don't think he's in. And Trevor, I'll flash your comment right here. Welcome to the chat. And shout out to the chat. You guys are alive and well. Prediction. Actually, look, I'm gonna sneak peek. I will give you my prediction on the other side. I don't think he's gonna leave, but I'll give you the reasons why I don't think he's gonna leave. before I talk about why I don't think he's going to leave, we got to talk about underdog fantasy. And pick 8 is now available in the NBA Finals. Create entries up to 8 picks. Underdog will automatically double the flex entries, so you can miss up to 2 times. It's kind of like a little bit of round robin, so you can win with your entry today. Sign up today using the promo code. Where is it at? TCESGPN. To claim your special pick with the first time offer up to $250. Bonus and cash. Underdog Fantasy promo code TCESGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. If you're betting on NBA player props, you need to download Rhythm. Rhythm's great, man. They got everything you need, breaking down player trends, and hires, lowers, just like Underdog Fantasy. But Rhythm's got the stat trends, DFS, got it all. Allows you to create your own NBA model or other sports with moneyline spread, total, you name it. Claim your 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM today. All righty, we are back on the college basketball experience. Sorry, it seems like I'm a little under the weather. I'm not under the weather. I'm just getting my voice back. You know, I've been drinking whiskey, vodka, cervezas, you name it, over in south of the border in Mexico. Had a good time, family and friends, but glad to be back. November 4th will be here before we know it. Trevor makes a good point. I don't think he's going to end up leaving. I think it's going to be similar to Coach K. I think he's going to ultimately end up coming back to UConn. I hate UConn. You guys know me. I hate the Blue Bloods. I openly root against the Blue Bloods. I've made so much shit on UConn the last 2 years, but I want Dan Hurley back in college basketball. So I am pulling that he does not go to the NBA because I think it's good for the sport when UConn's good. I think it's good for the sport. Hell, even when Duke and Carolina are good and Kansas and Kentucky are good. I just don't I can't see it. I can't see it. I know he says his dream is to coach in the NBA. I just think I don't know, maybe the timing's not right. Caravan's coming back. I know they're losing a lot. They've lost so much of the draft. In my preseason or way too early top 25, I had them at number 6, and you UConn fans fucking shit on me. Shit, Dan Hurley fucking leaves. You guys would be kissing my ass and put you at number 6. But yeah, they do have good pieces coming in. They got Ada Mahaney coming in from St. Mary's, Terrace Reed coming over from Michigan. And Samson Johnson. We saw the impact he had in the national championship. Diarra's coming back as well. They got the talented freshman as well. They got pieces, and I just think he's a college guy. He's got a great thing going in Storrs. I think he flirts with it. He wants to be tickled, kind of like he was with Kentucky, Coach K with the Lakers. I can't see it happening. And the other thing about Brad Stevens loved Butler, and I know he loved Butler. Butler's not UConn. UConn is a top 5 job in college basketball. So, and I know the Lakers and Celtics are the 1 and 2 in the NBA. And if he wants to go to the NBA, the Lakers would be the franchise or the Celtics. But once again, I just can't see his personality being there in the NBA. But if he does go, I actually think he could be all right. I think he would be similar to Pitino. Pitino in his couple years in the NBA, I know he got to the Eastern Conference, I think semis one year, but for the most part, he kind of was just average. I got his stats pulled up: 192 and 220. His best year was his second year, 52 and 30. Lost in the second round. Yeah, I in the end, I can't see it happening. I can't see it happening. So I think he will come back to UConn. I think it's a good negotiating tool, like Noah's talking about in the chat. Good leverage. We are in an interesting time too, with the SEC and Big Ten more and more money with the TV agreements. The Big 12 and Big East, they're going to be fighting an uphill battle in terms of budgets year in and year out. As good as the Big 12 is, as good as their coaches are, you can't knock or you can't ignore that money that's coming into the Big 10 and SEC and the divide that's happening at the football level. But that's where the Big 12 and Big East just need to keep doubling down in basketball and being and keeping the two separate so that they can market themselves in that way. So I think he ends up staying. If he does leave, I've seen people say like Bruce Pearl or whoever, they're not gonna fucking hire outside June 6th when they're coming off back-to-back national championships. They're gonna hire within Luke Murray or Kamani Young, who have been with Dan Hurley's every step of the way at UConn. And they'll continue to keep that engine going, because what happened with Hugs last year, if you lose a guy around this time of year, all your players are eligible to go to the portal for 30 days so they can leverage more NIL money coming back or going elsewhere. But yeah, I think he ends up staying. But if he doesn't, if he does jump ship, he goes to the Lakers. I think it'll be a mistake in the end. But I think they would promote within. So UConn fans did need a little bit of humbling, in my opinion. They thought their shit didn't stink a little bit, and now they're a little bit on pins and needles a little bit. So little humble pie doesn't hurt. Those annoying ass UConn fans, but like I said, what they've been able to do the last couple of years in Storrs has been incredible. I hope they go for the 3P, and I can't wait to fucking root against you guys every single step of the way. And I hope Dan Hurley's coaching you guys. Guys, it was good to be back. It was good to talk a little college hoops, get my voice back, get my reps back, get a couple vodkas in me, get me going, make me feel alive again. Thinking about college hoops starting November 4th. Do me a favor, make sure you subscribe this channel. Get all your notifications turned on, because we got a lot of content coming up here in June, July, August, September. Headlined by Colby and those guys over at the College Football Experience, doing all 134 team previews. So make sure you have your notifications subscribed. And make sure you got the college baseball subscription going as well. Noah's got you guys covered. We got super regionals this weekend. Mountaineers are going to be fucking sorry ass UNC in Chapel Hill. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, we got 16 teams. The road to Omaha, the most underrated sport, in my opinion, undercovered sport. Not undercovered here on the College Experience. So go check out Noah and those guys over there. They do an unbelievable job covering us on our road to Omaha. And I got good news. I got my first couple summer tour, coaches tour, summer school. Sorry, I can't talk. Summer school coaches tour releasing next week. We're going to get a couple head coaches, multiple head coaches across the country on here on the College Basketball Experience. Just talking. So when we talk about these guys in September, October, November, you get a little bit of background on them. Like I said, this isn't just a gambling show. Yes, we do love to gamble, but we are college hoops junkies. We love to talk college hoops, and it'd be good to get some coaches on here. And we'll be working with the NBA guys as well over the next month, talking some NBA draft prospects, because shit, we watch all these games. We might as well give our opinions and insights on draft prospects, how they translate to the next level. Go check out. I'm going to be releasing my mock draft, my top 30, 40. I don't even know what number I've decided to do for mock draft purposes over with those guys as well. So basically, just subscribe to all the channels. Leave us a like, leave us a review, and it goes a long way. And like I said, we'll be here all summer. Ain't going anywhere. And we're gonna get on that schedule that I've talked about now. Now that I got my wedding out of the way, now that I'm back in the States, no bachelor party. Life is a little more stable now. So, like I said, I got the ring. It's not like the UConn Huskies rings over the last couple of years, but got my ring, got my early recruiting in, got my commitment in, secured it in for the next 56 years or however the hell long my liver holds up. But guys, appreciate you rocking with us over at the College Experience. Another edition of Thank you for rocking with Mac tonight over at the College Basketball Experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we are out of here.